Hello, friends. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Friday night. I should pause always momentarily, but I guess if you guys are watching this after the fact, it's okay if I don't pause right away. So, hello, friends. How are you? Hello on YouTube. Hello on Facebook. Happy Friday. Hope you all had a great week and you're ready to get crafty tonight. So, I'm going to wait for people to jump on. I see lots of YouTube on here, but I don't see anybody commenting from, oh, there's Karen from Facebook. Good. So I know that the show is live and we can chat. How you guys doing? Okay, what did Kari is good news. Some kind of good news for Kari. Yay. I don't know what it is because I didn't see, but I can kind of have an idea of what it is. So hello. Hi, Jordan. How are you? Hi, Nat. How are you, my friend Natalie and Julie and Diane? Karen Rushton, how are you? Yessie? Oh, so many of my friends are here tonight. Did you guys have a good week? A lot of you would have been with me for our Fernwood weekend, and it was awesome. And I needed 2 days of recovery and then a lot of work to catch up. So you guys put lots of orders in for art crayons and a bunch of my mediums. And I've packed up all the Canadian orders except for the last ones that came through since yesterday. I have all of the US ones printed and I'm getting up early to pack them. And we're going to drop those off tomorrow. So then we will be ready because what goes live tomorrow is a Sweet Rush Lollapalooza weekend event pre-order. So does anybody have any questions about that? I'll talk about it if you want to see anything, you want me to show you any of, because I haven't done a walkthrough of Sweet Rush yet. So I decided to put it up there just to get it up because people were asking and because I thought it was a good idea to get it posted after Fernwood because people would have it fresh in their mind. It will be there. So if it's like, oh, I can't budget that right now, I ordered a lot of those kits. So no panics. If you can't do it tomorrow, don't worry. The one thing that you might want to do though is if you want any of the add-ons, because what I have there is what I have, but it's so good. Did you say you have metallics? I certainly do. Let me show you because I just saw, glad I combed the back of my hair because that could have been ugly. I did comb the back of my hair. But look at, that's what they look like. Can you see that? Oh my goodness, seriously? Look, the light has to just catch it right. But that is texture wise through a stencil. And then that is with the stencil brush. That just gives you an idea. Oh, it's all backwards. Can you tell? The shimmer and shine. So let me show you what the package looks like. They're freaking awesome. And I love that we put the metallics all in one set instead of like the bigger. Oh, one is missing because it's around here somewhere, the light pink. But this is what they look like. The light pink on this side is missing. But it comes in like the neons. And if you guys haven't ordered the neon texture paste, you want to make sure you get it in there in one of your orders. I have a couple cases of it, so I will put it, make sure I replenish it on my site. But those neons are really awesome. So you want to make sure. I know the sparkly unicorn bits always, do a number on us, but don't forget those neons are magical. And I need to do some stuff. I feel like we need to have like maybe one of these whole months will be a Vicki Boutin mediums kind of month. Let me see some of your questions. Hi, Adam. I'm getting it all. I'm starting to play with mixed media and you need it all. True facts, Adam, is these are really easy mediums to use. And I want to make sure there's lots of info out here supporting it. So it inspires you and encourages you to get the stuff out and use it. But my earrings, do you like them? Aren't they fun? They do look like one of those rock candy things that you put in like your coffee or whatever, right? Or do you just eat those? I don't know what you do with those things, but those pastes will be on there tomorrow. Yes. Okay. I'm going to go back through. I saw a bunch of questions here. So let's do that first. Do you know where I can buy your stencil brush? So the stencil brush is discontinued, but we are in the process of adding it to my release that will come out in the fall as a single brush. I'm going to get the pricing to get rid of the smaller one because I never use it. I only use the bigger size. So right at this point, you could do a deep Google dive and maybe you could find it, but they are, at this point, they were discontinued and I didn't even know about it. I went to order them and they're like, oh, we sold those out and we don't have any. So I'm like, I love it. And I think it's a tool, regardless if you're a Vicki Boutin medium user, it is a great tool to use with your Ranger products, with like any of your inks and your paints. It just makes delivery of wet medium easier. Like you can control it better. So I am working on getting them back. But at this point, I have a few stashed away and we'll look. I'm doing a deep dive clean of all of my stash. So I'm going to be doing grab boxes. I'm working on those. And I'm going to be doing where it'll be something where it'll say something like mixed media box, crepe paper box, Halloween box, Disney box. And I will post all of those on there with no photos or anything. You just have to trust that it's worth it. If the theme or whatever the keywords I add there tickle your fancy, you won't be disappointed, because my whole thing is I just need to clear my space out. So who knows, maybe I'll add some more, but at this point, really hard to find. Thank you. Rich brought my water down for me. Things. I have lots of things I want to talk about. Like there's good stuff is happening around here. My Funkos, they're not multiplying. I just actually took them all out of the box and put them up there, Sandy. Did I miss anything? Ask me again. Is Nicole here? Hi, Nicole. So I'm going down to the bottom to see what I missed. Hi, Michelle. How are you? Yes, everyone is at CAD in New Zealand this weekend. Have so much fun, and I will be there soon at some point, right? Hi, Poppy. Just a question. Do your crayons go off after a while? I need to stock up. I use the same ones I've been using from the beginning, and they have been, what, 4 years? I'd say no, depending. Don't leave them somewhere really hot. They'll melt. Just watch temperature with any, even my mediums. Like I'm quite impressed that unless you have not sealed your jar or put the lid on tight, I'm still using my same gold and my same iridescent. But with any kind of wet medium or any type of medium, they aren't like forever. They are a consumable product. You really need to use them, okay? Nicole's page was beautiful today with all of that quilting and stitching. Totally amazing. Hello, my friend Kim, sending you so much love. Dandy's here too. Yay. Okay. Any other question? Can we purchase Sweet Rush add-ons with the kit order? Yes. But that's all that can go in your order. The only thing I would let slide is if you threw adhesive in there. But because it's all a pre-order and it's not going to be shipping for a while, it's just too hard for me to put all of the things together. So yes, any Sweet Rush pre-orders can be added with the kit, but only one kit per box because the album is big and there's not a lot of room in there. Whoop, whoop. Okay. I have so much to share with you, but I want to answer questions. So yes, the mediums are beautiful. I'll be doing lots of things with them. When for the stamp and stencil that are in the kit is Flutter and the Flower. So the stencil with the butterflies and the flowers, that's what's in the kit. It's a big one. I've added extra. It's going to be really good. So yay. Yes, big hugs to Carrie as well. She's with her mom in palliative care and it's been hard. And she's declined this week. So sending you so much love. I can't even imagine, but sending you so much love, and bye to Kim. I don't know where Kim was going, but love you, friend. We'll see you later. Oh my goodness. Are those earrings heavy? Not at all. They're plastic. So they're not heavy at all. Hi, Janice. How are you? Okay. My nail polish. Yes. I've been doing my nails too, because it's good for my mental health. This makes me happy and it just makes me relax, slow down for a minute and do something. So I've been doing my nails. Okay. so much to talk about as always, and hope that I'm answering the questions. But we're going to do like tonight, freaking fun. Look at this one. So here, can I ask you a question? Are we okay if I do a layout tonight? Will that make you happy? Because you can make a card if you don't want to do the layout. The technique's the same, but I'm really inspired to do a layout, and I grabbed photos and Fernwood, and I think that layout will be fun. So if you're on board, I'm going to do a layout tonight. And then guess what's going to happen next week? So there's a new product from We Are Memory Keepers that they sent me. And have you guys seen this or heard about it? The Printmaker. So I think next Friday, I'm going to do a whole live demoing and showing you the Printmaker and answering questions. And then guess what? Guess what? I love it. So I really want to talk to you guys about it. I have one to give away. I have a Printmaker to give away, and I don't know, what does that retail for? Like, I think it's over $100 US, right? So I think it will be super fun if I demo it next week, because then you guys can ask questions. If you want me to test things, I can do it for you, just as your buddy who wants to help you. If you've been kind of on the fence, is it something you should order? Then I can run through and we'll do it live. So anything you want me to test or do, I totally will do. Now, here's how it's going to work for the giveaway. I am going to post a thread, probably on Monday, in the Vicki Boutin creative community. Hopefully, if Natalie's here, she will put a link, because I have to figure out a way that I can post it and everybody can comment, and then we can do like the random app where it will choose somebody. Now, it's only to Canada and the US, because it's going to have the right kind of plug and all the rest of it anyway, right? So Canada and the US, let me look. I will open it up to anywhere if you are willing to pay shipping, okay, to make it fair for everybody. But I can only pay part of the shipping. So if you're international or in the UK, you have to figure out how that works. But I will open it up to everybody. But you have to offset the difference in the price for shipping. So there, I want to make everybody happy, because look it comes with a USB. So really it should be fine. You could use it with any kind of plug as long as you have the USB. So they sent me two, and I'm like, can I give one away? And they're like, totally can. So this is what we're going to do. If I put it's all, you have to join and comment in my private group, then it's one place on Facebook everybody can get to, and I'll give it away next Friday. So I can, I'll close it on Friday at, let's say, 5 p.m. Eastern time. So it will run from Monday to Friday. You can leave a comment on there, like I'll give you the instructions on the board, but at least everybody comments in one place. I can already have the winner organized and drawn, and then I can give it away live on Friday night. I think I was trying to figure out, how am I going to do this? But that's how I'll do it. But totally worth it, right? It's going to be awesome. So I thought that would be a fun way to finish out the month of February. Because, right, is next, oh, geez, dudes. I'm like all messed up, but it's okay. We're going to do it next Friday. It'll be like a Valentine's gift. So I'm going to share it, talk about how I found setting it up and using it, and we will figure it out, because I think I'll have to have an extra phone. So I'll have to figure all of it out ahead of time, but that gives me a whole week to figure it out. So we're going to do that next week, and then we'll figure out what else we're doing for, I think there's one more Friday, right, in February. I'm so messed up. So that's exciting. And tonight, were we okay if I do a layout? You guys all right with that? A layout using this technique. I'm using Art Crayons, because here's the magic of gesso and Art Crayons. Gesso resists Art Crayon. So we can do a really fun technique with the bokeh effect. And then, oh my goodness, sorry about that. I just totally had like too much going through my brain, right? So I'll do a layout tonight. I'm going to show you this technique. I have everything cut and ready. You can make it a card if you want to. Like I said, I am using Art Crayons because they do something magic with gesso. So I have gessoed my background already, but I'm going to show you how we started it, or how I did it, and then just do the things. So any questions? Yes, scrapbook.com would like to see a layout. I love it. Totally going to do it. So I have some fun stuff I'm planning with scrapbook.com as well. Lots of freaking fun stuff is in the works. So I'm really excited. But the Printmaker, and then I will link wherever you can find it. But I just thought it's fun because, you know, sometimes tools come out and you're like, yeah, it's all right, but I don't know if I would invest in it. This one's kind of freaking awesome. That's all I have to say. I played with it literally for an hour, set it up, and I was like, yes, this is cool. And here's the thing that's in the pipeline. They're going to be figuring out how to add it, but like whoever I am, Vicki, that's me, downloads that will work with it. So I'm really excited about that. Rich is in here just trying to cause trouble. We had a conversation today that I said, you can't come in here and watch me because it makes me uncomfortable. It is totally different than when I'm talking to myself. But when he sits over there, sitting over there watching me, I said, you make me feel really self-conscious. So he's leaving after he picks up my garbage. So Greta, yes, you will want one. Like, it's very fun. So the Printmaker, I think, for if you like to art journal, if you like to do planning, card making, any kind of crafting, it's really fun. So is Rich eating chips and nuts? Not this time. Oh my goodness. Carrie, remember last time? But no, he left. He just came in to give me a hard time. He's the physical lurker, literally. Yeah, he lurks beside me and then makes me blush and feel uncomfortable. So he left. He's gone. But anyway, so there's a happy birthday to, is it Lorelei? Lorelei? Is that what it is? Or is it somebody's birthday? Lori? Happy birthday, Lori. Okay, let's flip the camera. Hi, Angie. How are you? If I missed anything, just let me know. Right? Totally crazy. It's plugged in via USB, but Notions has it ORMD, so probably won't ship international on normal post. Okay, so maybe it's only going to be open to US and Canada. Sorry, friends, because I don't know these things, right? So I just try to make it fair for everybody, but sorry, friends. I know everybody emails me and it's like, will you ship here and will you ship there? And I'm like, I'm trying to work on it. But again, it's one Vicki that does all the things, still working on a new collection, trying to rest after 15 plus hours of teaching last weekend. Like, it was a lot, but awesome. So to recap before I flip the camera around, Sweet Rush, Lollapalooza event weekend and add-ons goes live tomorrow at 10 a.m. on vickiboutin.com. It will be shipping once all product has arrived and kits are complete. They tell me it's going to be available in April, so we'll just see. And then I have not picked a class date but I'm looking at July. Maybe it's like the third weekend in July, whatever the weekend after the 7th and 10th. So again, if you can't join live, no big deal. It's all recorded and you can do it at your leisure, but that's what I'm looking at. ORMD doesn't mean that. They will say export restricted if I don't know the things. We'll figure it out, right? So yay. Hi, Carol. How are you? So let's flip the camera. So I think I've shared all of the things that I need to share, right? If you have any questions, you'll ask me. Let's flip. Here we go. So very excited. Throwing lots of shadow tonight. I don't know why, but we are. Let's make some stuff. I have shorts on tonight because it's freaking warm in the basement tonight. Okay, so let's get the laptop down so I can see what you guys are saying to me. Any questions before we get started? Poppy, Fernwood classes were awesome last week. Thank you. You're welcome. I had so much fun. That was such a fun weekend. We got so much accomplished. I haven't even popped on the Fernwood board this week. I will get there, but it work. I took 2 days of rest, and then it's work. That's what I do, right? So very excited to hop on there and see what you guys are talking about. But let's make some art. Okay, is anybody going to play along with me tonight? Here's what I have to say. For this one, I took a little piece of plastic and punched out the holes. Because this piece of Mylar is so thin, I was able to punch through it with my just regular punches, only because we're going to be using water tonight. So you can certainly still use paper, but you might have to remake your stencil. The other thing that you could do is you could use just a circle stencil and just mask it off, right? Hi, Linda. Darn, missed the beginning. Love the Fernwood classes. Can't wait for Sweet Rush. You haven't missed anything yet. I just was chatting, right? Just chatting. But thank you, everyone who does check in and lets us know where you're watching from. I love that, right? I love it. I have an extra set of art crayons in neutral because I was a knucklehead. I need the cool set. Does anyone have a set to trade? This is what I'm going to tell you, Debbie. I would keep them. Because you're going to go through these. This, just because this product is going to go away doesn't mean you're not going to end up using lots of it. Like, I will be very sad for, what does it look really dark today? I don't know why. What does your video look like? It just looks dark. Oh, maybe it's a lighting on my laptop. Just a second, let me look. Because I'm like, why does this look so dark? Yes, it's a lighting on my laptop. There we go. These won't dry out. You will be able to use them moving forward, but you definitely want to get the cool set because it's the one that has the lowest quantity. Like, I have restocked all of the colors are coming in. I'm restocking all of them. So I don't know. Does it say sold out on my site? I haven't even looked because I just was filling orders. But once I finish the orders, I will put more up in there. Okay. I have filled the foundations paper. Like, I put a lot of stuff in there. And like I said, when I go through an inventory and clean up all of my stuff to do my grab boxes, I'll probably add some stencil brushes. I'll add some other things. Okay. So yes, I have all of them. I just have to finish out my orders, see what's left. But I've ordered, like, restocked, and it's all actually at my US address, my mediums, my art crayons, all of it. Okay. So it's coming, right? So it's coming. And are you eating Oreos, Nicole? So this is how I prepped my background. For this page, I only put gesso on half because I'm only going to do a little bit of the technique only on part of the page because I think it will be fun for the layout. Okay. I will show you how I covered my background with gesso. So if you don't own one, it's very much worth your while to have a brayer. I like the brayer with the plastic handle that your brayer can come in and out of to clean it. So very much think that people need to have at least one brayer in their stash, right? If you do the gel plate class with me, you will want multiple brayers. We use a lot of them. I love them. Okay. So all I did was take some gesso, and I'm using the Vicki Boutin gesso. It's white gesso. It will work as, a, oh my goodness, a primer. But why it's magical with the art crayons is the art crayon, or the gesso, actually resists art crayons. So we're going to put our pigment down and we're going to lift it up with a ink blending tool is what I'm going to use. But you could use a foam sponge, whatever you have, even a baby wipe. Just make sure it's not too wet to remove the pigment once we lay it down. And then we're going to put pigment back on top. Do you still have gesso in your line? I think all of the mediums are probably, they're going to discontinue them. I won't be surprised because they've been around for a while. I have lots of this coming. It will be in the stock. in stock in my store. I bought everything they're clearing out. I bought all of it just so I can just at least have it and continue using it to show you guys how to do the things. Oh, and the cruise. Yes. Oh my goodness, guys. So if you have been listening and missed this, the Alaska cruise for 2023 went live on cruiseandcrop.com, and it is already half full. And we only talked about that on Wednesday, I think. So, oh my goodness, it is crazy that it's already more than half full. So there, I think, are about like 15 more spots. So if it's something you were thinking about or missed it, it is live on Cruise and Crop, right? And if you have any questions, you can just ask and I will help, right? I signed up for the cruise, have not heard back. They'll get in touch with you. What part didn't you hear back yet, Laura? I'm not sure. So I'm going to put a little bit of gesso, not much. You don't need much. And depending on if you're doing a card, you need even less than this. And I just put it down with my palette knife just to spread it out a little bit. But that's tons. I'm going to put the extra back into my gesso. I'm going to wipe my palette knife off. And then I'm going to brayer this out so it's nice and smooth. So you just take your brayer, and this is how I gesso backgrounds. I don't want a ton of texture in this, so I will just run my brayer over a few times. There's some little booger on there. Get the booger off. And then just kind of brayer it out. And that's it. Okay, you just want to make sure it's covered though, because if you don't have gesso on the background, you're going to end up pilling your paper because we're going to be rubbing on it. The gesso is going to act like a base that when we go to do the technique where we're removing the ink, you aren't going to pill, meaning get the little balls in your paper, because that protected it. Okay, so two things are going to happen here. It's going to resist the art crayon. And the other thing that's going to happen is we can use wet medium on top of it without damaging the paper underneath. The other plus is doing this, there's such a thin layer of gesso on here that this will dry like literally in minutes. Because we brayered that out, there's hardly anything on here. So it will dry in a matter of minutes. I know my gesso doesn't not have like a acrylic kind of a body to it. So you definitely could go in here with your heat gun and just heat that up quickly. Just don't bake your paper or start to warp it. Now I can use the sheet that I have already because I did that literally like 10 minutes ago, and it's completely dry, right? Look at my little scrapbook store. Pretty sure she has them. She's in New Jersey. Not sure what the question was. They say sold out, Julie, but I just haven't restocked them. I just want to fill my orders and then do an inventory and I'll add it. I have tons of stuff, but definitely look at all your favorite scrapbook stores as well. They're still in stock. Lots of stores should have them, but I will be stocking a whole bunch of stuff. What can we use instead of gesso? I don't know if you could use anything that will give you the same effect. You could do the same thing we did when we use the white paint. So where you're faking it, like you're going to fake what we're doing. So you could put your pigment down with whatever you have, inks, paints, whatever you're using, and then use the white paint again, and you will get a similar effect. I'm just showing you another option because we have the art crayons. A lot of you have the gesso because you've collected it with me. So I would say I don't think there's an alternative. What you could try is matte medium. If you have a matte medium, it also resists art crayons because you could use that as well. It'll give you a little bit of a shinier result, but you could totally do it. And you could do your white paint effect. But I just want to show you this. So if you have my gesso already, if you have gesso of any kind, because any gesso should work, and you have art crayons, this is kind of a magical little thing. Now, gesso will also resist your distress. So if you don't have art crayons, totally give this a try with your distress inks as well. Okay. So, yeah, that is what I have to say. So yes, and I will be stocking up my store. I have tons of stuff, but I have to inventory it and clean it all up. And that's what I'm working on this weekend, is going through doing those grab boxes, because I have old kits. I have a whole bunch of stuff that I'm just going to throw it all up in a special like Vicki Boutin garage sale and just clear the stuff out. And then I'll also be able to restock the other stuff that you guys have been waiting for. So what my plan is for tonight, I only gessoed the sheet I'm using. I only gessoed part of it on the right-hand side, because if we're going to do a layout tonight, I need to just put a little bit of ink down, do this technique, and then start building my layout. Okay. The gel crayons will work, but they are not as pigmented as the art crayons. They're a little bit different. So give it a try, but work in a smaller section. Don't do a huge section, because you're going to go through a ton of art crayon or gel crayon, because they're fun for some other techniques, but they don't have as much pigment and they're softer. Okay. So let's do the things. So look at Friends. And Natalie was shocked by this. I'm going to use purple. Are we okay with that if I go in with purple? So my color palette for tonight is going to be pink and purple. So I'll use both the purples out of the Cool Set. Right? So that's what my base is going to be. The two purples and the pink. And then the colors that I used was orange, yellow, and the light blue. And then these ones again. So this was my color palette. It's weird and crazy, but you can follow along or do whatever you like. But I thought it was fun, a little different, right? Tim Holtz is live tomorrow, new color. I'm hoping so. I will be there. I already messaged him and said, while I'm working tomorrow, I'm totally going to watch. So how this will work is I'm going to take my stencil brush, and I have a couple of them just so I can work faster, but you can use the same stencil brush, and I will show you where you just clean it and then load it again with a new color. So whatever you're going to use as your palette, you can use your a craft mat. I have a second sheet of plastic, and this is where I'm going to add my art crayon and load my brush to deposit. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to cover the whole section that I want to work in art crayon. And then I'm going to take the stencil that I created out of this thin Mylar sheet, and all I did was punch the circles, and I'm going to start lifting pigment off, and then I'm going to add pigment, lift pigment, add pigment, and layer, layer, layer. It's so much fun, right? My mat, yeah, I guess my nails do match a little bit. They're a little janky right now, but I'll fix them up. Hi, Libby. How are you? Okay, so you ready? What time does Tim go? Usually at noon, 12 o'clock Eastern, I think. So I will be there. You guys can say hello if you're there with me. It's not that color either. It was this color of orange. Okay, so let's get started. So I am going to deposit pigment on my gesso'd portion. And then I am going to start doing the bokeh technique by lifting pigment off. So I have the sheet of plastic. My brush is completely dry. I'm loading it with the art crayon, and then I'm just going to start to deposit pigment in kind of a fun, loose way. So why I love this too is all the texture in the gesso gets picked up with the stencil brush and dry. My pocket is already ready to buy all the things after the live. Yes, I will be, if there's new colors, doing all the things. Yeah, I'll be very excited, because you guys know that I am definitely a ranger lover, and I love Mr. Holtz. So it'll be fun. I'll be there. Oohing and awing like I always do. I like to, when he's working so hard, I definitely like to get in there and, oops, what was I doing there? Did you see that almost happen? I almost colored right on my page. Got so excited. That I think when he's putting all that work in, that it's nice to comment and kind of put your support out there, right? It's always a nice little thing. So I'm just going in and building some pigment. I'm going to go in with the darker purple now, and then some pink and back in with purple, and then we can lift this off. And I think I saw Patty on here. Are you still here? Hi, Patty, my friend, my Wonder Twin friend. She is my, keeps me on track with my Gina Livy, but I have had a very good week of healthy eating. So I'm very excited about that. I feel magically delicious, right? So very excited that I'm back on track. So now I'm going to show you what you could do. I want to change colors. So I could go in here. I could have a second stencil brush, or I could just wet the end of my brush and take that pigment off, right? And just rub that until no purple's coming off. Don't need soap or water or anything magical. Okay. I don't know if that's completely clean, but the one thing I do want to make sure is I dry it as well as I can. And that's just by going over it on your paper towel. Because if you don't get that purple off, you have a color that won't be a true pink, right? You're going to have a purpley pink. So of course I'm going darker to lighter, which I don't normally do. But, and I have other stencil brushes, clean ones that I could use, but I wanted to show you guys how I would do this. So then just go try to get it as dry as possible. There's a little purple on there, but I'm hoping it's not going to affect it too much. Clean my little mat off, and I'm going to put some pink down. What did I spray on the brush? Water. I just have a mister full of water. That's all. Nothing special. Just water. How do I say, Nicole? Is it, how do I say Miss Rodriguez Perez's name? How do you pronounce that? Yarlise? I'm probably not saying that right at all. Hi, Helene. My daughter is in Brampton for a figure skating competition this weekend. Well, good luck to her. I hope she does well. Your food that you post always looks amazing. And it's super easy foods that I eat too, Poppy, because really, you know, I'm trying to eat healthy. So I just try to make options that are tasty, but totally fit on plan, right? So I'm just blending a little of that pink in here. And then I'll go in after I put some of that down with purple again, okay? Just to change up the color a little bit. I'm gonna blend it in with my purples. Okay. And let's go in with that dark purple again. And I will not clean my stencil brush off for the purple. Whatever color I get, I'm totally okay with. And then just start building this a little bit more just to have like a little bit of deeper pigment. Sorry, when I'm doing this, friends, if you're asking me questions or talking to me, I can't hear you, or can't see it. So I need to help with oh my God, Yarales, oh my goodness. You'll have to say it to me on the phone, Natalie, so I don't look like a total dork, because I just massacred your poor name. Ms. Rodriguez Perez. So sorry about that. But very happy to have you here. Incredibly talented scrapbooker who posts often on the Vicki Boutin creative community using my products, and your stuff is totally inspiring. You are an amazing artist. So thank you very much for using my stuff and then sharing it with my community. It is fabulous. So I think that's pretty, right, friends? So can you see there's texture in here from the gesso'd background, which I love. Just this alone is super pretty, right? Yes, super talented, right? Crayons are Vicki Boutin's Art Crayons, yes. I will sound it out for you on the phone. Thank you very much. Yes, super talented. Where do you live? Where do you live? Are you in the US, Puerto Rico? Where do you live? I want to know now. You do need to break out your art crayons and play. Sorry, I had to have a drink of my tea. Because they're magical and I haven't used them for a long time, right? So how do you guys feel if one of our months is using a whole bunch of Vicki Boutin stuff? Like I can use a gesso, we can use the texture paste, we can use the glazes. Like maybe what if we did a weekend or a month like we do on our Friday night lives, and we just try to make multiple layouts using Vicki Boutin mediums, because I feel like a lot of you own them, because if you've been around for a while, right, you probably own some of them. I don't know what the interest would be, if you guys would be interested in that or not. I'm not cleaning my stencil brush, but I'm going to throw some of that pink up here. We do cards too, so I don't want to leave my card makers out. If you are going to have a restock, then it would make sense to do a month of VBoo stuff. Yes, because then I feel, thank you, Natalie, I agree, that what could end up happening is if you weren't sure if you wanted it or not, you can see it in action the whole month and then decide if you want to invest. And you also can reach out to your favorite scrapbook stores, because I feel confident that wherever you shop probably still have lots of things in stock. Okay, I'm going to stop now and we'll see if I've deposited enough that when I go to lift the color up, if I will get good results. Okay, are you ready for this? Here are your golden nuggets for tonight for the technique we're going to do. I have and love having just an old kind of cleaning up rag rather than just paper towels, because we're going to rub on this a lot and it's not going to pill like a paper towel will. So I have this handy. I have my water handy. I have my stencil that I want to clean because there's purple on it right now. And I have a couple of a blending tool and then a couple just of the foam, so I can switch it out if I want to add pigment or use. I'm going to use my stencil brush. I'm going to use my blending tool, and I'm going to use my mister. Okay. So when I go to lift some of these areas up, I will clean this off first, just because there's hints of purple all over it. I will use my rag to wipe it off, because you don't want to redeposit pigment. We're going to talk about this. The other thing you don't want is too much water, because if it's too wet, guess what it's going to do? It's going to bleed underneath your stencil, and that's no bueno. You don't want that to happen, okay? I just want you to get ready for this, because this is so much fun. Get ready for it, right? And if you're just checking in, one of the things we talked about at the beginning of this video is next Friday, I am going to demo the We Are Memory Keeper Printmaker. You guys may have seen it in some of your big box stores or kind of seen it shared on Instagram. I have one and I'm going to demo it. The other thing that's going to happen is this week I'm going to post a giveaway on Vicki Boutin, or the Vicki Boutin Creative Community private group page on Facebook. So make sure you join the page and you can post in that comment section, and then that will give me a chance to make the draw for it and give it away live next Friday. So super exciting. Hi, hello, Miss Vicki. Do your gift certs have an expiration? No. If it ever was for some reason on the store expired, I would totally honor it. Definitely not. So I'm going to go in here and get ready for the magic. So what am I going to do? You could mist on your mat, pick up the water, but I'm going to take most of it out, because if this is too wet, it's going to bleed under my stencil. And then I'm going to go in here, and remember what's going to happen is you're picking that pigment up. So you want to make sure that you are wiping it off on something. So see what's happening? I'm taking it and wiping it off as I lift my pigment back off. Some of these circles you can lift until it's very white. Some you can leave a hint of purple. The other thing is you are moving pigment around, right? So if you don't clean your sponge off, you're going to redeposit it. Now, the other thing you could be using is a baby wipe. You 100% could use a baby wipe, but look what happens. Isn't that fun? So I still have like this cool texture hint of purple underneath my bokeh, right? Question, will you notify us in your newsletter when the grab boxes are available? Yes, I will. Before it goes live in the store, I'll send a newsletter out like I did today. Newsletters went out today to let you know that I was going live tomorrow with Sweet Rush. I will send a newsletter out just kind of explaining how it all will work, okay? Because what's going to happen is I'm going to do a number of things where it's grab kits where you can put multiple in a box. And the other thing that I will do is grab boxes where you can only order that box and have it shipped, because it's going to have so much stuff in it that it's one box, right? So the background is gesso'd. I put gesso on my foundations paper and then brayered it. So I put the gesso down and I brayered it nice and smooth. Move your brayer around. You create this awesome texture on the background. You let that dry, which will not take long because it's such a thin layer. Make sure you clean your brayer off and your palette knife. And then we added pigment with the stencil brush. Could you use a blending brush? Yeah, probably. If you can't find a stencil brush, try it with a blending brush. I will try that. I'm going to have to order some new blending brushes from some of these of my favorite stamp and card making. Hey, Libby, does Hero Arts do blending brushes? Because I feel like I will support Hero Arts with all of the things. So it just makes it easy. You guys can find that stuff everywhere. So we'll try next time with a blending brush, because I don't want to just use a stencil brush, because a lot of you can't get it and you might want to punch me because I'm using something that you can't find. So I'm going to go in here and I'm just going to do some big circles first, just like we did before, right? Don't put too much water through your stencil, because what will happen? You will push it underneath the plastic. So make some of these very white, make some of these with a hint of purple. See what I'm doing? Just kind of taking that pigment off. And look at that. Yes, I need to send you that list. You sent me all those links, and I will do that. I am in a good place now to get some of the things done that I need to do. So I'm just going to keep doing this, friends. And don't forget, this is going to get kind of dirty. So take some water, clean it off before you pick up more pigment. Is Irene out there tonight? She is, right? Irene, you said you're using your paint technique. Okay, that's pretty wet. I can see it already. So I am going to do this. So this is going to take a while. So we're just going to keep working. I'm going to keep talking, check in to see if I'm missing any of your comments. Love it, right? This one has a little bit more of a hint of purple. And I'm just going to keep going through. and doing this little technique-y. Lifting, moving the water around, wiping the pigment off so I don't redeposit purple. Because here's something magical that I'm going to show you right now. So if I go on here now, I'm going to do one over here on the side. Oh, there's lots of, I'm going to do one right up over here because this is where foundations paper and gesso meet. So no gesso, gesso. But I need to deposit some ink because I'm telling you lies. I can't show you this if we have nothing to move around here. So I'll just carry this up here a little bit because I would have been a total liar. I couldn't have showed you anything there, whatever Vicki was talking about, right? So there, put a little bit of pigment there. So I'm going to do one right here where it's gesso and no gesso. I don't know if I have enough color there. We'll see what happens. Okay, because you could do a fun technique where we lift and deposit pigment at the same time. We'll see if it'll work. I don't know if I have enough on here. No, this might have to be something I show you another day. Yeah, it's kind of working. Oh, look what I just did. But we'll fix that. Watch. This may be a technique for another day. Yeah, might be a technique for another day. But the point I was trying to make is where it is on the paper, the ink would deposit. But I'm going to show you another time. What is gesso? Gesso is pretty much used as a my brain is so tired tonight. Like a sealant or a base or a primer. So gesso originally was made out of like rabbit skin and animal skin. And what would happen is when you stretched a canvas, you would have this raw canvas that was very porous. So if painters would go and paint on something, they would put gesso down first because then all of their paints would sit on top of the gesso on top of the canvas. Gesso now is not, well, maybe you could still buy it out of rabbit skin, but I would prefer it to be man-made. So this is not, it's like more of an acrylic base, and that's why it will resist my art crayons. So the whole purpose of gesso is to act as a primer before, like if you're using regular cardstock and you don't have foundations paper, gesso is a great thing to give your base tooth and body, but it also can work as a texture medium depending on how viscous or thick it is, because you can have like very fluid gesso where it comes in like a squirt paint bottle. You can have hot, like a higher body gesso where it's thicker, like a texture medium. This gesso is matte, so it dries matte. You can have one with gloss. You can have black gesso. This works really great if you want to make your paints have opacity, if they're very transparent. So gesso is one of those things that if you're new, you're like, what do I need this for? But you'll always find uses for it. So that's what gesso does, if that was helpful. But it's a primer, a base, a layer. That's what it's traditionally used for. But I will show you something when we do that whole week of like things we can do. Oh my goodness, we could use, why don't we do that where we use like 2 sets of stencils, like, or we limit the stencils we use, but for the whole month, maybe want to do it next month. For the whole month, we will use the same like 5 products or whatever the products are, the same stencils to get like multiple results. Isn't that fun? Somebody remind me. I know some gesso has grit. How gritty is your gesso? Not at all. Not at all. Most gesso is going to be pretty smooth. Gesso that has grit would be more of a grit paste. Like a gesso should be smooth because you don't really want to see that as a texture underneath. The only thing that will leave texture is how you apply the gesso, right? Like putting the brayer over, there's texture just because of whatever the science is, the chemistry or the physics that happen, that the suction of just the friction of the brayer over the paper. But there's so many things we can do. Use it as a texture paste with resist. Oh my goodness. I could do a month of just gesso techniques. So we just need to do the things. Seriously, we need to do the things. It's a pretty magical thing. But I think it would be fun. And if I give you guys enough time, like restock the store and give you guys enough time to gather what you need, if you're ordering it from me or you're using any of my share a sale links or you're shopping at your favorite store, I think that I need to make sure I can give you enough time to grab what you need. So if I give you a list of the products we're going to use, so maybe it shouldn't be for March. Maybe we could do it for April. What do you guys think about that? Because then that would give you guys enough time to gather up your supplies. So let me know what you think. I did not add more water because this one, I just want to be a light purple. I'm not going to lift all the pigment off of this one. I'm going to do this one just like as a lighter purple. So why this, all the pigment isn't lifting is because I don't have a lot of water in my brush. So I'm actually just kind of moving it around. And then we have this light purple, right? Just to give it a little different tone. And then watch, I can come in here, put more water down. I'm going to definitely have to clean this off because it will have tons of purple. See it sitting in the sponge. So I'm just going to clean that off on my little rag and lift. Okay. There we go. Do you think April is better? Because then that, and it's my birthday month. So why don't we do all things Vicki on the month of April? So see, wet, more water, I can lift more pigment off. Okay. So this is what we're going to do, just like we did before. Just start to create our bokeh layer, layer, layer. And then I'm going to come in and put pigment on top of these as well. Okay, so I'm just going to keep working here. It's going to take a while. So I'm going to be here, you know, for sure until 10 tonight because just the technique portion takes a while before we even get into the creating project. Okay. So you can stay as long as you like or watch after. How are my friends in New Zealand doing at CAD? You had me at purple on tonight's technique, right? I was doing it for all you purple lovers. Yes, so, right, so uses for gesso. I could use it like a texture paste. I could use it to create techniques. I could use it to prime cardstock when I'm doing wet mediums, but then just know that it's totally worth your while to test gesso with your mediums. Like I would have some swatches and then put inks on them and see what's it like if I stamp on my gesso? What is it like if I put watercolor on my gesso? Will it resist it? Will the pigment be different? Will the value of the pigment be different if the background is gesso'd? So you definitely are not going to master it the first time. It is definitely worth your while to test all your mediums and how they will work with each other, right? So I'm just going to keep building my circles. Like if you did not have gesso on your background, you could not do this with the art crayon. Okay, there's a golden nugget. Did you hear what I just said? If you did not have gesso on your background, you could not do what I'm doing with your art crayon. Because why this is lifting is because the gesso resists the art crayon. Okay, friends, the gesso resists the art crayon. It's not like putting art crayon on paper and then it would just soak into the fibrous paper. It will not soak into the gesso at all. It's sitting on top of the gesso and I'm able to lift it off and do, in essence, this is a resist technique in bokeh, right? So is that helpful? I hope I'm explaining it so you guys will know what I'm talking about. But I'm just going to keep doing this. And then we're going to come in and do even something more magical. We're going to deposit pigment off on, lift pigment off. Okay, so I need to go in and I'll start in the next circle. Did you see that I started with the largest circle and then worked to the smaller ones? Okay, I'm just trying to wipe some of that off. And I know that leaked while I was pushing the pigment or the water underneath. But it's still okay. Just go in, tap that extra water, dry my stencil off, and let's go in with the second size. So I have, I think this is 1.5, 1 inch, and 5/8, because that's just the stamp set, or not stamp set. That is the punch set that I have from We Are Memory Keepers. And I know some of you have emailed me about the circle punch sets that you're like, I totally want that punch set. I am restocking all of my tools. It's coming. Okay. So if you guys were looking for that, they're coming. Okay. Tons of punches, because you know what is Vicki's, one of her favorite things are punches. I just think it's the tool that keeps on giving. So let's just keep going. Gesso. I've explained it a couple times. I'm going to explain it again because there's a lot of people probably just popping in now and didn't hear it. Acts as a base. Probably the easiest way to explain it. It acts as a medium that you would put down that would be a primer or a base. So initially, or originally, it was used, say, like when Michelangelo was painting on a canvas, the canvas would probably have been either cotton or it could have even been animal skin. And they would make a gesso, which was like an opaque medium that would work as a primer. And you would put that down on your canvas to create a barrier so all of your mediums wouldn't soak into the cotton or whatever it was made out of. And it would work for your oil paints. I don't know if they would have had acrylic then. It probably all was oil. And then now we use it in the same way. It's no longer made out of animal skin. It is made out of acrylics and different mediums. And we will still use it. Like today, it worked totally as a primer on my foundations paper. And the other thing that what makes it magical with art crayons is it will resist art crayons. It resists art crayons. So that is why we are actually able to come in here now and pick up that medium, right? So I gave lots of tips right at the beginning that you guys will want to know before you start this. The biggest one is do not use too much water as you're going through and lifting, because you will push it underneath the stencil and you won't have a crisp edge. You'll have a blurry edge because the water brushed under, okay? I hope that's helpful. So now I'm going to go in here and layer right on. Remember I said we kind of lift pigment off and now we can kind of redeposit pigment. So look at, I'm going to do this kind of light purple layer. See, so we start to get these ones that will just look like a lighter bokeh. And the other thing we're going to do is add pigment in. So it's not just purple when we're done. You could leave it totally like this if you're like, I'm digging this and I just kind of want it all shades of purple. Oh, I love it. Let's do that. Do it then, right? And here's the other thing. I hope you guys start learning to come back and watch the videos again, because what you can do is try the techniques multiple times in different applications. That's what's kind of magical, right? Is you could do this with different applications and it's super fun. So you could do this as a monochromatic just with purples and pinks. And then you could come in and do one with greens and purple or blues, whatever you want to do. But it is really magical to try the different applications. So if I'm talking about it and saying, oh, you could use this monochromatic, then do one sample monochromatic. when we go and add the color, you're like, oh, I love when we add the color, then come back and do one with the color, right? So that one I'm going to leave as just kind of a purple. See, I just moved that pigment around, didn't lift a lot, but look, do you see how I wouldn't even have to add any other medium? I could just move the medium around and have different layers of purple. Question, is your stencil made out of a piece of acetate? Yes, it is. So this could be the backing off of stencil stamps, or I used to buy it, sheets of thin acetate, which maybe you still could get at like Staples or something. Karen, will that ink totally dry or will it rub off over the gesso? I wonder, because cards are handled more than a page. I use such a thin layer that I'd have to rub pretty hard to transfer it, Karen, but it would. In essence, like if I spit on this or poured water on it, the pigment will lift. So yes, it will not ever completely set up. Could you use it on a card? Yes. What I would do is, have you ever bought spray? Spray. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I just had a total brain fart. Have you ever bought the spray version of sealant that you can put over chalk pastels? You could totally use it on that. Use this on there. So sorry, did you like that? I'm like trying to talk to you and I'm like, I don't even know what I was trying to say there. Totally wasn't making sense. Sealer, yeah, spray sealer. Tim always says, don't lick your art. I would agree with that because I cannot promise that it won't poison you either, right? So that is a good tip, Mr. Tim Holtz. Don't lick your art. Which you guys know I often say too, don't eat it. Try not to spit on it too. So let's just keep moving here. Fixative, thank you. Oh my goodness. Spray fixative. Yes, thank goodness you guys are here helping me. Because did you notice? I'm like, I don't, whatever that stuff's called. I have been filling orders all day today and working on my latest collection, doing some finalizing of the things. And yeah, my brain is tired. I laughed. I talked to Natalie yesterday because I was showing her one of the new thickers. And I was like, what do you think? Do you like it? Do you like this color palette? And she's like, I love it. And she said to me, are you rested after Fernwood? And I'm like, not at all. I am still incredibly exhausted. Oh my goodness, I love this. I would love this in purple with grays or go in with blue. Like how fun would this be, my friends? So I'm just going to keep lifting. I'm going to put one light one on here on top of where we didn't lift a lot of purple. Sometimes once you wet it, oops, see what I just did? So now I got to fix that. So we'll layer this one on here too. Watch you don't go off the edge of your paper like I just did. Okay. Put a couple small ones in here. And then we're going to go in and put the other color on. And you're going to find what is really magical about this is this creates these kind of edges where the purple, the water kind of pools against the stencil. And then what ends up happening is when we go in here and add the color on, it is like kind of creates this magical edge. So it's really kind of phenomenal. So just go in because bokeh overlaps. It does not just kind of appear like bubbles, just like bubbles would overlap too, right? So you could even make this like a bubble effect if you wanted to. How many of your project carts delivered this week? Yes. And I put an order in for some project carts because some of you guys did email me for the people who would like to pick up. They are coming, but I tell you, I only told you about the project cart because I love mine. Right? And I know a lot of you put orders in at Joanne's store. And I think a lot of you were getting your project carts, right? I saw you guys posting about it, but I love it. I just find that if you have limited space it is an awesome thing to have. The project carts are an awesome thing to have. Okay. Lift a little bit more. Just going to keep going. Know when to stop. But I'm loving the effect I'm getting. What do you guys think? Maybe a couple more over here. Maybe there. Oh, look what I just did. Let's see if I can fix it. I lifted it and splashed the ink. Do this. Let's see. Go slow, Vicki. Slow. And then I will lift that corner with a smaller one. I also need to clean my sponge because it's got a lot of purple on it. How we doing? Is anyone doing this with me tonight? But wait, I have a lot of space, but still want a project cart now. And they're on half price at Joann's store. And I'm telling you, Libby, will be the best thing ever. And I have all the other rolly carts too, but the project cart, because the trays come on and off, these are the things I love. If I'm working on a class, I love having my project cart because I can sort my stuff out and have it all ready. I like to have one beside me that I work on actively. If you're drying things, like say you stamped and did a whole bunch of mixed media, you can put it on your project cart to dry. I just love that your storage is vertical. I love them. So like I told you guys, I get nothing from Joann's. It is not something I told you guys about because I'm going to get any kind of kickback. I told you because you're my friends and I love it. So they are on 50% off, I think, at Joann's stores. A lot of the people who message me are because they live close to me and they're like, hey, can you get me one? And I'll come pick it up. And I only ordered a couple. So it'll be like first come, first serve, but I love it. Okay, I'm going to put a couple little ones and we're done. Let's add the next color. You need to know when to stop, right? Even though you're having fun, Vicki. Need to know when to stop, girlfriend. So yes, you can look it up. All you have to look up if you're like, what is she talking about? What's this project cart? We Are Memory Keepers project cart. I've owned one for a while. I have ordered them for my friends in the past. It just is, if you have limited space, I think it's just kind of a magical thing. I'm not going to add any more right now. I'm really digging this. So let's go in and let me show you what I did. So I liked this and I was going to leave it. You totally could. Like, look how pretty this is just in purple, right? Just in purple. Look how pretty. There's texture in here. I know it's not showing up very well on the camera, but there is tons of texture from the gesso. I love the edges on here because it makes this have this real 3D effect, right? I'm not doing this with you, but I always take my time on Saturday to recreate. Teaching second grade makes you too tired on Friday night. Definitely, Erin, right? Sarah got the project cart last month after seeing all of mine. I own and actively use 3 of them. I was waiting since they were kind of expensive. Yeah. And then the doorbuster sale. Yes, they are, but worth every penny. I love it. And did you see, Karen, lots of people were ordering them from the US to Canada and said that I don't think they got dinged too much or anything with duty. I don't know. Anybody on here from Canada get theirs from Joann's yet? I don't know. Mine shipped. We'll get it next week. Whoop, whoop. Yes, we need to revisit the bubble art. We will for sure, Poppy. I love it. And I loved it on the gel plate. Bubble art on the gel plate was magic. And thank you, friends who already have liked this video and subscribe and set reminders. It's super helpful, right? So thank you very much for your support with that. If you are on the YouTubes, make sure that you have subscribed and hit like. And even if you come back and comment on the regular section is awesome. I love it. here's what I have to say. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to show you. I'm going to apply with my stencil brush just because I like the softness of it. Okay. So I'm going to make sure that the mat that I was using is clean. I have the purple and pink brush. You could use the same brush for all of this, just cleaning. So I will start with my lightest color and I'm going to go in and add some yellow because it's the lightest color. And then I will have a brush for warms, and then I will make sure I have something else that I use for the blue. Otherwise I'm going to get mud, right? So let's go in here and pick up some yellow with a dry stencil brush, and you're going to lay your stencil and decide where you want. I'm going to put a yellow one right here. You ready? So now watch what happens. So let's just deposit some pigment. Look at that. See how easy that went on there? Look how pretty. So I'm going to go in here and just start building some yellow. Maybe one right here. I'm not even going to load the brush, so I have light yellow and darker yellow. Let's do a little one right there. Watch the edge too, right? Depending on how close you punch to your edge, you might want to mask it or use something, but you don't want a hard yellow line across your page, okay? Look at that, friends. Look at that. So let's go in and do a couple more. Maybe here. Load that little bit of yellow up. So some I'm only going to put a hint of the color because on the purple, I get this earthy color, right? But because yellow is your lightest color, you just want to watch, right? So you got one last year. I have Avery Small Crafting Area, and this card is the best lifesaver ever. I totally agree. I love it. And I'm going to tell you, can be, you got to watch when you put it together, when you tighten. Sometimes the trays are a little warped, but I find mine flattened out as with warmth. But it is not like a $300 piece of furniture. So I saw some of the reviews where people were like, oh, it's not very good. And I'm like, you got to remember what you're getting, what you pay for, right? So I think that it's decent for what you're paying for it. And it's also not from like a huge, like Walmart. It's from a smaller manufacturer. So just kind of keep in mind. Now I'm going to go in here. Let's do one more in yellow right on top. The other thing you can do is not line it up exactly, offset it a little bit and put your pigment down. So do some of them where you don't line it up perfectly, and then you kind of get this offset one. Let's see what happens too if we do one with the purple in the background. Okay. So I'm going to put this on with the purple in the background. So I'm layering this pigment on top of the background to just give it, see, that kind of really light effect. So some of these are going to be really bold, and then some of them are going to be lighter. I'm going to go in now. Do I have enough yellow? Do I want one more in yellow? Maybe. I can always come back, but I worry that I won't have the crispness if I come in with another color. It's very hard to clean your brush perfectly on the fly quickly. Okay, so I offset that one. I love it. And I will do one with the orange so you see it. See right here what happened? I got the edge. That's what I was saying about watch, because I got the edge with yellow. So let's go in and I'm just going to commit with yellow on this one too. And then that softened it up. And now I'm going to put some orange down, and I'm not cleaning my stencil brush because whatever I get with the orange and with the yellow, I'm totally okay with. And let's go in and do some orange. Love it. What do you guys think? So pretty, right? Hi, Debbie. Are the art crayons permanent if there is no gesso beneath? More so. They are still they are never, completely permanent, always can work. You can always move them around. But on paper, because it is porous like a sponge, the art crayon soaks into the fibers of the paper. So you cannot do this kind of technique without the gesso. The more art crayon you use, the thicker it is, the more you could have like movement on it. But if you're like, how will this work in my album? Like if I want to put a page protector down, totally fine. This is not going to transfer, right? Like, look at, you'll get a little bit if you rub a lot on here, but not much. Like you'd really have to add friction to lift that off. Okay. Hopefully that helps. Let's do one up here. I did not reload the brush. I just want a lighter orange on that one. I'm going to do orange on here too. Just a light orange on that. Some orange on top of that purple. So just watch your edge. You could always take a scrap piece of paper. Do I have one? Like this. And lay it beside, and then you're not going to go off your stencil, okay? I'm going to do this one offset, remember? So some goes in the circle and some goes on the purple. Okay. It is so pretty. I wish that it would show up on the camera what it looks like in real life. I love it. Any questions? Can you use a palette knife or your scraping tool to apply the gesso? Sure you can. Just get the layer as thin as possible. But the texture can be a whole different technique. It's really fun. Love that you're using the crayons. I love them. So do I. I love the art crayons. And what I was telling everybody, if you weren't here, is they are going to be discontinued. So the art crayons are going away. The only way we could get them back is if people, like, there's a demand for them. And because they've been out for a while, and I think American Crafts is more known for scrapbooking, that it's hard to get some of these. It's not like it's like a Ranger product or like with Tim and using them. So I find that they don't stay forever. And I have fought for and got them to bring them back a number of times. And I just got to the point now where I'm like, okay, I think it's time. We'll just let them go. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's not maybe for always, like maybe we'll get them back again, but I'm not sure what will happen. So I'm putting some pink down. So whatever color I get with the pink and orange, I'm totally going with that. And then I will clean the brush to get a really true pink. Okay. And I'm going to just put some of that down. And I love the earthiness of that. Look at it. It's kind of a reddy color, right? Not reloading, just using what's on the brush. Put a couple of these down. Big one right here, maybe. And now I'm going to clean the stencil brush off because I would like it to be a little bit more pink. Okay, so what am I going to do? What I showed you guys, I'm going to wet the stencil brush and I'm going to, whoops, throw stuff on the floor. Are the gel crayons staying? Definitely not with those. A lot of those mediums are a one and done. Like my the texture paste sets, that's what I'm saying. Those neon ones are going away. They are one and done. They will not be brought out again. So the gel crayons are not. The art crayons I fight for just because if like I can't fight for all of the things. But no, the gel crayons are done already. They're probably I don't even know if you can order them anymore, right? So it's just the way it works. But don't worry, because I'll always find, if that's the case, either I find somebody else to do some of my mixed media with, or I will just find something else to use. You know, I'm always going to use Ranger. I will always use Ranger products, but that's just where I'm at, right? And I know that you guys buy the things, so we can make all of this happen. You guys buy the things. I think my art crayon should stay. I do too, but the whole problem is the factory that we make them with will not make me any new colors. So that would be one of the things that would be awesome, is if we could come out with a new color palette, right? Add colors to these, but at this point we can't. So now we're limited, right? We're limited. The other thing to do now, we're using all these colors, clean your stencil off, right? Otherwise you're going to be pulling the pigments we just used into your color and you won't get a true representation. So I'm going to go in here quick and clean that off. Oh, I think a whole weekend or a whole month of this would be fun, so I can show you the magic too of iridescent glaze in art crayons. Seriously, there is some freaking awesome stuff that can happen with these mediums. Okay, so I have pink now, right? Because I cleaned my brush, so I have a truer pink. I'm not reloading it. I'm just using what's on here. Let's do a pink here, maybe right there. Just pick up what's there. What else? What other colors? One here. Hint of it. And now I'm going to go in with the blue. So I really have to clean my, I'm going to use a new one. So pretend I cleaned it. This is a clean stencil brush. And I'm going to put the blue down and watch this one. Oh, it's so magical on here. What time is it? 9:30. We'll probably be here a little bit later tonight. So sorry, friends, if you need to go to sleep. I'm going to still be here working. Where do I want? I want that one to stay white. So let's do this blue. I'm going to stay here and make the layout. Oh, I love it. Where else do we want blue? Maybe here. I'm offsetting this one a little bit. And I went with the baby blue, that light blue. And we should get a little bit of green when it overlaps with the yellow. I'm going to do this one blue. So now we have done bokeh in multiple applications, and you will see this to me is the very artsy application of bokeh. Question, can art crayons be applied with the foam? Like with, let's try it. I don't know. I think what will happen is it might eat the foam. All that friction would dry, but let's try it. Who knows? Let's see. Maybe it's going to be awesome. It loaded nicely. Let's go in and do this one right here. Okay. Foam and art crayon. Yes, totally works. So there you go. You don't have a stencil brush? Look what I did. Yep, it works, my friend. Totally can do that, okay? I'm going to add some of the blue over this yellow one and see if I get a greenish color. So I'm just going to use my foam, whatever's on there. And then I'll go to my stencil brush just to get a little bit more off of it. See if I can get kind of a turquoisey yellow. Oh, I love it. Very pretty, right, friends? So I'm going to go in and add maybe, I'm going to do blue there just for fun. I'm going to totally offset it though. And then we can start our layout. So yes, it worked. Oh, yay. Yeah, I love that it worked. And like I said, I think your blending brushes could work too if you own those, Julie. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to add a blue one right here on top of the purple. Let's see what we get. Because it's going on such a dark color, I think I just need a little extra pigment. Love that. I'm going to do another one with this size circle. So by going and adding pigment over pigment, it just makes it have that bokeh effect, that some will be very bold and then some will be lighter. And I'm only going to do it with one color just because I think that I don't want to mess with it too much, right? So I think what the blue is doing is it actually kind of picks up the purple as well. I need to start having an extra camera, because what would be really helpful is if I could take a picture of this to show you guys, what the background looks like before I put scrapbooking stuff on it. But I could always make it again. I could just make another one. So can I show you something now? The last step. Are you ready for it? So we've put pigment down. The only other thing I'm going to do is go in one more time with my clean foam, and I'm going to lift some circles out of the pigment we've put down. So we added color, we lifted color, we added color, and I'm going to lift color again, if that makes sense. So I'm going to go in, let's say on this red one right here with a little small circle, and I'm going to lift some pigment off of this. So let's just put it on here. Where did my rag go? Do you see it? Am I blind? Oh, there. And let's see what happens when we lift a little bit of that red off. I don't want to lift it all off because I want that little bit of light pink. But see, we can go in here now and add a little bit of color off to see what kind of effect we can get. So I'm going to go on this one that kind of had that lighter effect. Don't overwork it. You only want to lift a little bit. Look at how fun. Do you see now that that adds a whole different effect? Where else do we want to go in? I don't want to ruin it. Maybe up here. So we could lift. Could you add pigment through it again? You could, right? Watch. So I just lifted that, right? And then I could totally go in here if I wanted to. It has to be dry. And put some pigment in here. So say you got one that you're like, ooh, I'm not loving the color of that one. Lift it and put some pigment on top. See? So I'm going to do one more down here maybe, where I lift a little bit of pigment, and then I might deposit. I don't know if I want a full white one down here. Or just lightly lift it, right? Oh, I like that. Maybe I'll do a couple light ones. Love that. I'll do another one right here. Oh, look at that. Do you see what I just did? Do you see what just happened there? Because I was lifting the purple, I redeposited the purple. I just moved it around like a watercolor. Let me try to do another one. Maybe here. Let's try it. So I'm going to put that right there. And what's going to happen is I'm going to lift and move the purple around, because I'm not rubbing really hard. I'm just making that into like a watercolor, and I'm moving it around. So what happens is then I'll get a little bit of a purple going on. See? And now we need to step away, because if I don't, I'm going to ruin it. I'm going to put blue back on top of there though, just because it's fun. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to deposit blue on top. So then you look at it and go, what came first? The purple, the blue, I don't know. The chicken or the egg? I do not know. Oh, I love that. So now that looks like it's under it instead of on top of it. See? Looks like it's under instead of on top. Just put some more blue on there. Go over this again with the blue. And even that one looks a little busy to me. So let's see. Can I lift that and kind of start again? I'm going to try. It's a lot of business going on. Oh, I can. Look what I just did. Totally lifted it. So now there's only a hint of it. Right? And then I'm going to go in there once that's dry and put the blue on top. And then be done. And we're going to start the layout. There we go. Oh, do I want that pink on top? No, I'm going to leave it. I love this. I'm loving how Baby Wipe's working for you. Baby Wipe will totally work. The only key is, remember, can't be really wet. If your Baby Wipe is wet, you will lift too much of the pigment off. So the only thing I do is take my Baby Wipe and a paper towel and squeeze as much moisture out as you can. Okay, very good, friends. So if any of them that you don't like too much, go back in with the purple, right? Go back in with the purple. We need some pigment on one of these. Let's just make one blue just because it's on my brush. Too much white going on in this corner. Okay, just going to put a hint of blue on that. Very good. Very good. Done. We're done the mixed media. Step away. Oh, I have to say, look at this beautiful mug that I got. And I believe, am I right? Did Kathy, are you out there? Kathy Young? Did you send this to me, Kathy? If there's a Kathy Young out there. She sent me this mug, and I think it's her. What happened is a couple things came in the mail, and then I missed it. The cards went in a pile. And I just want to make sure I send a thank you out. I love it. She sent me this mug and a pair of beautiful earrings. And it says, "You make the world a better place." And I cried. I loved it. And look at the little rainbow earrings. So thank you so much if you're out there. I absolutely love this. Love it. And for me, it's magic when I can put my art stuff in it. So it is going to hold my brushes. So thank you very much. You guys spoil me. Poppy sent me chocolates that I ate all in one day. I did, Poppy, and I'm not embarrassed to say it, because you guys know what is my favorite thing are the freaking black licorice covered in chocolate. And they're the little pebble ones. She sent me the chocolate bar, but I have to say those little pebble ones are like the best thing in the world. And I ate them all and then got back on track. Thank goodness. But I loved it. And then Kari sent me a beautiful gift this week. You guys spoil the heck out of me, and you don't have to do that. I will still love you, but oh my goodness, it is, you just don't even know how much that touches me, that you think about me in your day-to-day life when you're out doing your thing. So thank you very much. Okay, clean enough. Clean enough. So I already prepped my idea a little bit. So let's do, I was supposed to make it last. Poppy, it did not last. And Natalie is saying, keep the licorice to myself, and I will happily. I'm glad no one in my house likes it. I don't have to share. right? So this looks really dark when I'm looking at my computer screen. It is not. When you do this technique, this is, my background is actually quite light and pretty. So I will make sure I photograph the layout and the side so you guys can see what this looks like. But do you see now? Let's do a comparison. So this is this week's application of bokeh. Bokeh, circles, whatever you want to call it, right? Let's look at what we did last week. I think it's right here. Yes, it is. Let's look at some of the things we've done. So look at, so far, bokeh just added with distress ink, I think, right? Distress ink or art crayons, whatever you want to use. So that is putting just bokeh down on a background. I opted, and now you guys maybe understand, to go with monochromatic. The first one's a monochromatic application. And then last week we put art crayon on the background and went in with white paint. So then you have this effect, which I made a card out of, right? I love it. Very soft and pretty. Now this, what makes this different is it's very textural. Like when you look at this, I can see all the imperfections of where the gesso laid. It has this kind of brushed suede effect. The result looks like brushed suede. I absolutely love this, right? So just to show you, right? Different things. Green licorice shoelaces, yeah. Oh, the black licorice covered in chocolate. Oh my goodness. The things that I love when I went to New Zealand, and I think they have them in Australia as well, are cassava chips, just plain cassava chips, and black licorice covered in dark chocolate. Best thing ever, right? It's so fun. Okay, so let's make a layout. So look what I did already, friends. I prepped stuff. I got things ready. Oh, and if you didn't know, because some of you, does this need to be sealed? I will not seal mine, Debbie, because I use such, look at, a thin layer of this medium. Like it's not transferring. So really, when you put it in your album in a page protector, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Like I wouldn't seal it. Maybe on a card, but probably I wouldn't. I wouldn't, because the only time it's going to transfer is in the envelope. But most people aren't going to stack a whole bunch of cards together, right? So I would be totally okay. Like when Karen asked, I'd be totally okay to send this in a card. So you can do, it just depends how much you're using. But the stencil brush, and even that foam applicator, it's so little is used. These are just heavily pigmented. So I use very, very little pigment. Like, look at, my crayons are still huge, right? Not like comparatively with some of the other water soluble crayons, you have to use a lot of them, right? You eat cassava too? Well, I've seen them here, Natalie, but never plain cassava. They always have like sweet chili or flavors on it. And I just want plain cassava. Although I can't have any of that stuff right now, right? Got some weight to lose. If you guys didn't see it, this is the album that will go out with that Sweet Rush kit. Okay, so it was behind me. You might have missed. There are tons of pocket pages in it, and then all of the prepped art inside. It's going to be so much fun. This album is going to be freaking awesome when I'm done with it. So I wanted to show you that. So there's still lots of you out here. I'm very happy you're still sticking around. I decided, when you look at this, this color doesn't necessarily match per se Fernwood, but there are aspects of it that do, right? The orange will totally work with it. The turquoise, the peaches, and the yellow. So I will play up the colors that actually work from Fernwood as a challenge to create my layout on here. So let's see. Let's pick the photo. I grabbed a couple of photos. I don't know if I want to use that one, but I have one that's very rainbow-esque. So it's here somewhere. Let me find it. But colors that I'm going to use with this layout. Oh my goodness. Won't that be perfect? I love the hot of this with these freaking colors. Love it. I have this dot if I want to. The green would work because I like the contrast with these colors. And then in my 6x8, look at things that'll work. Look at that turquoisey will work. Even though it's with blue, that orange will work. So, oh, the yellow will totally work. That one has to come out. We're going to use that. I love it. And maybe these. And I just decided to grab the 6x8 just because it was sitting beside me. So why not? So let me show you the photo. Here it is. This is what I grabbed. So I have this photo. Don't you think that will work really well? What do you guys think? I think it's perfect back on the background, right? Because there's purple right beside me. And it's actually all of the colors. So I'm totally going to do that, right? I just bought a packet of cassava plain to share with Michelle and Anne-Marie. I freaking love those. Do you have a candy bar and everything, Michelle? Hi, Dawn. How are you? Dawn, I love your piece of art that you made this week. It's beautiful. So look at these butterflies. They're going to be perfect on here. Do you see it come together already? If I want to use this flower, I could, but look at this turquoise one. Oh, I don't know, friends. And then I think this is perfect. Stay curious, right? Oh my goodness, do you see it coming together already? And I literally had made that background. This was not planned. And then went, oh, I wonder if it'll work. And then went, oh my gosh, it totally works. I freaking love this. So this is what we're going with, okay? This is what we're going with. Maybe the daisy instead. I don't know. But this is what I grabbed. And I'm just doing the things. The other thing I want to do is tie the purple in. So what am I going to use? I am going to use my chipboard thickers to do my title, because we can paint some purple on here and maybe some gold. It's purple and gold. So I have Stay Curious, and then I could put like Colorful Girl. What do you think? Stay Curious, and then we need like a title with the chipboard. So Stay Curious, Stay Curious, help me. Stay curious. Hello, we are here for the weekend. We have loads of supplies. I think Michelle has already eaten half a pack of, does she like those? Is RJS those black licorice things that I will fill my whole suitcase with when I come see you? I don't think anybody understands how much I love those chocolates. See, I think it's going to be so pretty, right? So my idea is the art, like the layering of product, is going to go on this side. I don't want to cover everything up, so we'll decide how that's going to work, right? And then, but I do kind of like that, just like this, how we threw those down. Love it. And then I like the title to go kind of like this. We could do that daisy if we wanted to off the end. So they're going to kind of go like that. And then I want to put the thickers down here. And then we have little elements that we can lay. And I think pattern paper is going to come down the side. I'm going to cover the side of my layout with paper. Stay curious, explore. I love that. I like that. I like one word. Stay curious, explore. What else do we got? Yeah, did a couple of you say stay curious, Vicki? Yeah, that would work. Stay curious, crazy chick. Stay curious. But Deb, I like stay curious, be magical is fun, right? Stay curious. So we'll think on that, okay? But you get what I'm saying is then I think the thickers, and then we could add some purple and gold in them. So I'm watching till stay curious, rainbow girl. I like that. I don't know. We got to think. Got to think on this. Stay curious. And then you know for sure it's going to be popped up. Got to pop it all up. Oh my goodness. I love this so much. In case you were wondering, like for reals. I am totally digging this already. And then we'll figure out what we're going to mat this with. And you could put multiple photos. For me, it was just, I just had to grab something tonight, okay? But you most certainly could put, see, So if that goes on here, and then the thickers could go right underneath here. So, and then however we're going to get these butterflies on here. And then we totally could put this off the end. And then like that, maybe. I don't know. I'll figure that out in a minute. But then I have pieces, right, that we can add. And we'll decide how they're going to layer, kind of like that. That was just a piece left over, but we're going to put pattern paper down the side. So let's decide what we want to do here. I really need more of a blue. There's got to be something baby bluish in here too. I just didn't grab very much, right? But I love the yellow close to the photo, right? So I'm going to take these off for right now, okay? Take these off. Let's build the base. But totally digging, right? The yellow next to the photo. Like digging that. I'm getting wild and crazy. Get ready for this. You never see this happen, but guess what I'm doing? Totally tearing my edge. I know, you probably are like, I can't even believe this is happening. It's totally happening tonight. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of... I know. I just probably freaked some of you right out. Vicki just totally tore her edge. What is going on in here? It's like Invasion of the Body Snatchers or something. And everything that I'm doing here for my card loving friends, you could do all of this concept in a card, smaller scale. Instead of a photo, it's where your elements are going to go and where your sentiments would go, right? So I think I want that to edge up to this. I kind of like that, don't you? Right? Oh, I'm loving it's coming together. Let's mat the photo with all of my awesome measuring skills. I'm literally just marking it so it's larger. We are not measuring anything because this we got to get this done, right? Because it's already 10 o'clock and some of you will be like, holy crap, lady. Don't you know I worked all week? You're killing me with these Friday night lives that go on forever and ever. So I'm just eyeballing it all. Ish works. Right? And digging that. Oh, I love it. I love the contrast of these colors. And we will decide, let's put another strip of something over here. What do I have in 12 by 12? Nope. Not gonna do that. Could I put green over there? I could. I might have to get up and get something else. I really feel like I need a blue. Now let's see, because I might have some color study here. Let's see what I have. I did have some laying just in a stack beside me. Let's see. Anything that I have so I don't have to get up is what's beside me. Let's see. What do I have that I could use? Okay, color study. Ooh, look at the circles, man. Ooh, look at the purple. I think a part of that. I might put a little bit of that in there. I'm going to cut a strip. Let's try it. So it's Fernwood and color study is at the party together. Ah, almost dropped everything on the floor. I'm loving that. And then something's going to hint out from underneath there and then another strip of something. And it might just be a barcode. I don't know. Let's do it. Let's do the things. I love this so much. Totally digging it. Are you digging it? Yeah, I think that color was perfect from... And who would have known? Who would have known that I would be using Fernwood and color study together tonight? I'm so excited. I haven't looked at comments. Are you guys saying anything? That looks awesome. I love it too. And Vicky's using purple. What the what? Look it. I need a blue. This blue, I have to find a blue. That blue has to come into play. I really feel like it needs to happen here. Any of these barcodes, look. Ooh, look at this one. That polka dot barcode. No, it's too much. Too matchy-matchy. And that's just not my jam. Okay, so what colors do we have in the butterflies? I need to match, see? Well, the turquoise is there, see? Because I'm totally freaking loving this layout, in case you were wondering. Totally loving it. I want a hint of something under here and then another strip here. Ooh. I kind of like that. Like sometimes. Yep, let's look at that. But I do need the blue. I'm going to find the blue because we need a little hint of the blue. The blue has to happen. Just decided that that has to happen. Let's see. Okay, just give me a minute. Let's find some blue. Although, look at it's turquoise here. It's turquoise. I don't know. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Oh, my goodness. I'm just looking through my paper. Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. It's kind of blue, and it's turquoise, and it's magical. And now I want a border punch. I need a border punch. So walking over to grab something. Oh, do you see what I'm saying, friends? Do you see what I'm saying? You really need to find some time to get creative because it just is good for the soul. It makes me feel so freaking good. And I always come on here and go, I don't know what I'm going to do tonight. We're going to do some stuff, but I don't know. I don't know. And then I end up being so happy, right? I have two border punches here. What do we want to use? I'm going to use this one. This is one of my favorites. Okay. So let me move this over. And we're just going to create a scallop border. I have a mess all over the places. So I'm going to cut this off. This is like blue and turquoise. Love it. A lot of times I try to kind of find the center of my paper so it will finish the same on both ends, even though it doesn't really matter, but I just showed you a little trick, a little trickety trick. And let's go ahead. So things that are hard to find now are border punches. But if you and I were out shopping and you're like, okay, Vic, I'm loving what's happening here. I want to do it. I want to do the things with you. What do I need to add to my creative toolbox? And I would say punches. I'd say punches, die cutting machine when you have a few more bucks to spend, steel ruled dies, a Cricut or silhouette, but to start out, punches. And the other thing that I love is I can make magic with my good old punches and not have to pull a whole bunch of crap out and plug it in and do all of the things. So I didn't line it up. Oh, it is. It's perfect. I'm a liar. Totally worked out. So that's if you want your border to end the same on both ends, that's how you do it. Okay. I know. I love this punch. I will look and see if I can't locate some of these things. but I have scallop punches and a whole bunch of stuff that I'm going to be adding to my shop. They're all in the other room. I just have to have the time to do the things. You know what I'm talking about? Just need the time to do the things. Gotta clean that up. I cut it crooked. Now, if I was just hanging out and doing this on my own, guess what I would be grabbing right now? What do you think that I would grab to finish this layout? I want to see if anybody has an idea of what I would be doing before I would finish this out. I would be grabbing some type of machine. Do you have any idea what I would use? What I would want to add? Look it. I love that little edge. My sewing machine, 100%. Like this to me now, and maybe I won't glue everything down and I'll sew later, is the sewing machine. I would be putting a zigzag stitch right there, and I would stitch this piece. Because why the sewing machine, Vicki? Because it just adds that little bit of texture on there. Like it's just kind of a magical thing, right? But I totally love that. Do you see, friends? That freaking totally worked, didn't it? I'm committing. I'm going to glue this down because I like it. I like it. Where'd my glue? Oh, there. Sewing. You totally know, that's what I'd be doing. I need to trim the top and bottom of this, but for now, don't care. Just going to commit because we're going to finish this layout. Well, at least most of it. You know, I might go and add a few other little jiggly jagglies, but for now, whoop, whoop, love it. Yeah, it makes me super happy. I love how this turned out. And this is using, so this is why, do not limit your creativity. I would never normally use purple and orange together, just not my jam, or at least I didn't think it was my jam. And now I have to say, oh my goodness, magic happened here tonight. Right live, whatever that means, right live, on this Friday night. Using a color palette I normally wouldn't have used. Do you see I left the edge too? I'm even distressing a little bit more. So love that. Oh, Vicki's crazy tonight. Who are you and what did you do with Vicki? So like I said, my friends, I challenge you to take this inspiration, my card making loving friends, and I would love to see a version of this in a card, because I totally think you could do a version of this in a card. I'm throwing down the gauntlet. Distressing too. What the hell is happening? Right, Dawn? What the heck, man? So you know what I've been watching while I've been working? RuPaul's Drag Race. I freaking love that show so much. So look at, I don't know, it's brought the crazy out in me. I'm just trying all the things. I freaking love that if I didn't put anything on it. If it was just finished, but I just see a card, this would be so pretty as a card. So I challenge you, my friends. And now look at the yellow one here. So pretty. But we're going to pop it up and I'm going to round the corners, because if we leave it just plainy plain, I think it's not pretty. It's one of my, do you love purple, Marty? Do you love purple? And there was no plan. You guys saw this. I just kind of did this tonight. Now, I will tell you, do you know what I would be adding? So I look at this. Let's see if I can get away with that turquoise. Because I look at this and what I would be adding is, what I feel like it needs is a navy matte underneath the photo. I'm going to show you. Let's see if I can find a dark blue. Because do you see how, so I'm loving this, but I feel like we need some darkness around the photo to make it pop. So I'm going to try to find this color a little bit darker, and we're going to matte that photo. And you're going to watch it happen. So let's see. I just brought in a whole bunch of cardstock to load. Do I have something I could use? I don't know. Let's see. I don't think this will work. We'll try it. We'll try it. Ooh, what is this? I don't think that'll work either, but let's see. So I bought myself a whole whack of cardstock from American Crafts. So let's see if any of these work. Oh, that's black, I think. Oh, maybe not. This might be perfect. Okay. No. Too blue. This blacky gray, though, I'm going to try that. Because got to use something. And I think this might be perfect. And it's going to be very thin layer. Okay, just a thin little layer. So let's mark it with my magic measuring tool. My fingernail. And I will put it on here. And let's see if you see what I'm talking about. I spit all over it too, just so you know. When you look at the cardstock and there's like little dots on it, it's because I got so excited I spit. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Darcy. Thank you. I love it too. I have to say, I don't know if my magic measuring tool, I might not even be, that doesn't look big enough. Let's see what I did here. Freaking weirdo. Oh, no, it's good. It's good. So look, do you see what I'm talking about? Makes my photo stand out. So now the other thing we need is foam dots. We need some foam dots. And then look, oh, love it. Thank you for sticking around. A lot of you, some of you are leaving. I love you. I love you too, Dawn. And I'm crazy. And the other thing is so I'm right watching my sugar and all the rest of it. So what ends up happening, right, is because remember, if you've been sticking around, Vicki mentioned that Poppy is awesome and sent me gifts, and she sent me chocolate bars, and on Monday I ate all 3 of them. Everything that she sent, Poppy, and I'm not even not even ashamed to say it. So the other thing that's been happening this week now is because I got back on track after the craziness. Well, I have a headache, right? Because I'm literally detoxing the poison I put in my body. Because it would be fine if you ate 1 or even a piece of chocolate, but you probably should not consume all of the chocolate, right? So that's what I have to say. So I'm sitting here going, oh, sweet Jesus, my head hurts. You're inspired. I love it, Helene. I can't wait to see what you guys make. See you later, Pamela. I packed your box today because every time I do it, I just like to say your last name, LeBlonde. So I'm always like, Rich is like, who are you talking to? I'm like, I don't know. There's certain names when I'm packing orders. I just like to say it. And so I like to say LeBlonde, Pamela LeBlonde. So I'm just telling you that happened today for reals. Let's pop up some more corners. So what do we think? Maybe pop this mat up too? Yeah, I'm going to. I want to see what you guys make. I cannot wait to see, because could you make this a double? 100%. I would repeat the pattern on the other side and put all of my pattern paper down the middle. And you could make a 2-page layout out of this. You could make an 8.5 by 11. You could totally make a 6 by 8, right? I want to do all 3 of these this week. So many things on my list. For sure, Dawn, right? And just take the time. It's just my biggest thing is I hope what I'm doing here with these lives is 1, keeping you company, because I love that part of it. The other thing that I hope this does is inspires you to make things. Like, and I don't even care if it looks anything like this. I just want you to get this stuff out and take time to be creative, because I think we owe ourselves that time away from all the other life stuff that we're doing, right? Okay, here, opinion. Should I go straight? I'm feeling like straight is the answer. Like grease is the word, straight is the answer tonight. I think it needs to come down a little bit more like that. Don't you think? Because normally, right, I would put on an angle, but don't you think straight? What do you guys think? My whole name is Pamela Ann LeBlonde. Maiden name is Pamela Dudgeon LeBlonde. I love it. I just like LeBlonde. Steeped my second decaf tea. Yes, Valerie. Keep going, Vicki. I know. I've got my cold tea here and I'm drinking it. Straight. Yes, I agree. Zach Katz. I think straight. Okay, let's do it. So if the pattern on the yellow bothers you, just don't use a pattern paper. So I'm going to lay it flat, but I will pop up the edges. And I am always so glad when you guys have been hanging out with me for a long time show up. Like, I hope you guys know that really cherish these friendships, man. It is not made up. I absolutely love that you guys chat with me on Friday nights, that we hang out. I always know my mama is here watching. We'll be up all night peeing. Well, 100% Valerie, because I did not get my water in. So before I go to sleep tonight, I will be drinking a couple liters. Don't even care. Don't even care, right? But I do. I love, love, love that you guys are here with me. I don't know. I look forward to Fridays. This is our time. My time with my buddies, right? Okay, so now I will leave that, but I'm going to have to watch. I'm changing my mind. Let's see. I can put it back on if I want to, but now that I just popped this up so much, I'm going to determine if I want it only partially popped. Partially popped. Yes, I think. Yeah. Oh, I love it though. Guess what I'm doing though? Got to move it up a bit. Want to know why? I still need room for my purple thickers. And then we'll decide if I actually need them or not. Does anybody else like RuPaul's Drag Race? Am I alone? Oh, Kim, you are my friend and you've been around for a long time. And I absolutely love hanging out with you guys. I love this. So let's see now our little butterflies again. Do we like it? I like it, right? Sometimes it doesn't have to be all like crazy. It can just be. I don't know. I don't want them spaced like that. And I do like the idea of this. Hi, Lee. How are you? Is it Lee or Leah? Leah. Oh, Kim, I'm telling you, and I'm not sharing any of those details because that's up to you, but I'm telling you, my friend, and I'm here for you, and you are going to do all the things you need to do. That's all I'm saying, right? Hi, Carolyn. How are you? Thank you very much. I'm telling you, you guys, it's just, you have saved me over the last 2 years. And look at, we were showing up and doing these lives for a while, right? Like long before like COVID's happened and, you know, we're kind of stuck at home. And then you were like, okay, I need something to do. We were already here doing the things, right? So I love that you guys hang out with me. It is just total lifesaver. So I'm going to put this little piece over here. I'm loving that. And now we got to figure out our title right here. Okay. Stay curious. Stay curious in what? Stay curious in what, friends? Now, do you see what I'm saying with the sewing machine? Look at stitching, popping the wings up. Totally awesome. So I'm not going to put anything until I decide. Hi, Valerie. Vicki or Natalie, are the numbers coming down over that border? I'm ready. Well, you can't get over any of our borders right now. I don't know what's going to happen after this weekend, but the crazies are all, and wherever you stand on that, I'm just saying, are blocking our borders and lining their kids up. So the craziest thing I ever saw was the news today, where there was a human lineup to block the border of children. But I'm not even going to get into the politics of all of that. But I don't know if you could get into the country right now because the borders are a little bit crazy right now. Stay curious and create. That's fun, Poppy. Do I have an ampersand? See, now what I would do if I had my silhouette out is I'd cut a giant ampersand, right? So I like stay curious and create. Okay, I'm going to use that. Stay curious and create, because that's what we're doing tonight. So I'll just do that. Anyway, but I will be ready for you, Val, when you are ready to come and hang out with me. 100% cannot wait to see you. This has been a long time coming. And we have booked the cruises, so I'm very excited that a lot of you are going to be with me live and in person on a cruise ship. That's going to be fun, right? So stay curious and create. I like it. We need an A. And remember what I told you guys, glue all of this. Don't, oops, and learn how to spell. Glue it and learn how to spell. And a T and an E. So let's see, can I do another subtitle? Ooh, what is this? Stay curious. So many things, so many wonderful things surround you. Okay, I like that. So now we need to switch the script. Ready? Stay curious. And then I want to use this. Stay curious. We could put because so many wonderful things surround you. Yes, let's do that. Let's do that. That makes me happy. Stay curious because so many wonderful things surround you. Oh, I love it. I love building and stacking titles. It's going to be a late one tonight, Mom. So you will have to let me know if you're up, if I can call you, or if you're going to go to bed. She normally will stay up and chat with me, but Vicki did a long live tonight. Stay curious because so many things, because it's very hard. Am I spelling it right? Because so many wonderful things surround you. Oh my goodness. I just love what's happening right there. Don't you? Love it. So stay curious because so many wonderful things surround you. And this one will go flat, but I will glue it because I do not trust the adhesive on any sticker. So let's glue that down. That is a good one, Kim. I wish I would have saw it before I pulled all the letters out. Do we like that better? Stay curious and remember, so many wonderful things surround you. Should I change it to and remember? That is kind of good, Kim. That's kind of good, Kim. Stay curious and remember. I love it. Let's do it again. Freaking Kim coming up with the good ideas. I like it. Stay curious and remember. That's a good one, don't you think? Kim had a good one. And remember. And that's a lot of E's. Remember, B-E-R, right? Oh, there's a B. I like it, Kim. That's a good one. That was a good one, Kim. Perfect. That's a good one, right? I like it. Stay curious and remember, so many wonderful things surround you. Like you guys. Okay, so we're gonna figure it out. Some are gonna pop up, some are gonna be flat. Okay, the ampersand will go flat, and I'm gonna paint them right on my layout. You're still up. Hello, Mommy. How are you? I love you. See, she's here with us, friends. My mama is always hanging out. So the R will be popped. So let's start cutting some foam dots, and then I'm going to paint it. Thank you for sticking around. I know that you're going to start dropping like flies because it gets late. This will be recorded so you can come back and do it at your leisure over the weekend, right? But thank you for joining me. I know some of you guys chat, some of you guys just quietly lurking in the background. Whatever works for you, I'm just happy to have you here. So don't forget, next Friday, I'm going to be doing, just showing you how the Printmaker works from We Are Memory Keepers, and I will be giving one away. So if you missed that part, you want to make sure that you head over to on Facebook, my Facebook group, Vicki Boutin Creative Community, and I will be posting a post for the giveaway, and then I will draw the name. I'll close it at 5 o'clock Eastern time on Friday, and then I will let everyone know by the end of the Friday Night Live who the winner is of the extra Printmaker that I have. So that will give you a week. Oops, did I just do? I did too. Pop that one up too, but that's all right. We can do those things. And then I'll be giving it away. Hello, Lizette. Hola, chica. Lizette, my friend from Puerto Rico. Puerto. Am I doing it right? And Elsie always tries to help me. Oh, look at remember. Remember. I'm popping that up too. Let's see. Remember. Do I switch that? No, I like it. Remember. Stay curious and remember. And I have an arrow, so that might be cool. Do we like that? I like it so much. I like it so much. Did I spell it right now? Remember. Is it right? It's hard sometimes when you're doing these things. So someone tell me it's right, right? Remember, right? R-E-M-E-M-B-E-R. No one is telling me, but I think it is, right? I think it is right. So I'm going to start committing. Good now. Thank you, Julie. So we have Tim tomorrow, and if you guys don't follow already, Lael will be on, I think, tomorrow. Maybe. She's traveling, so I'm not sure. So I will be watching a couple different things. But lots will be happening tomorrow. We have to see, what is Tim going to surprise us with? Tomorrow is a Ranger, so I am hoping it's a new ink color, because it's got to be time, right? It's got to be about that time. I know Vicki Boutin is ready for it. That's me, Vicki Boutin. Thanks, Trisha. Sometimes I read quickly and then I'm not sure, but I was saying it right. Thanks, Trisha. So layering. So some are popped up, some are flat. Right? Even though there's adhesive on my thickers, I never trust. So I am going to glue it anyway. Oops, I want to move that over because I really like when the M just dips there a little bit. So I'm going to move that over a little bit. too much. Just that one space out a little bit. There. Very good. I gotta stand up to make sure. I love this so much, friends. And you could totally leave that white if you wanted to, right? Do we want the R to come down? Yes. Yes. Good night, Joan. We'll see you later. Good night, Curry. I know this is a late one. It'll probably be 11. This will be an 11er. So thank you so much. If you're sticking around, if you have to leave, I totally get it. I've been here for a long time tonight. Tim, tomorrow should be noon Eastern, 12 o'clock Eastern. He usually goes because that's morning time in his world, right? But I will be there. So make sure if you see me, you say, hey, friend. But only quietly because we're there to watch Tim, not to talk to each other, right? I love that. And then stay curious. And then we can totally paint. Now, do you think I should paint it or should we leave it white? Because I kind of really like it white. I kind of really like it white. So we could totally just leave it white. What are our thoughts? White. I agree, Marcia. I'm kind of digging it, right? Now, the one thing we could do is tie in some of the little paint dots, and we could just do some paint dots on here. And yes, see what Natalie is saying? Please share whatever you made. And I hope somebody made a card. Like, I hope somebody made a card, because I think what's nice is when you guys make something a little bit different than what I did. Oh, look at that. Look at that, freaking the yellow. I love it. Let's stick that baby down. I freaking love that. Look at. So I thread the stem of the flower through, so it's popping up on my bee. And then I'm going to curl it a little. Look at. I love that. I don't know if I want a ton of butterflies on here. I'm really going to say I don't want to cover up all my artwork. I might only do 2 butterflies. Yeah, I might, but a blue one. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I just don't feel like I want to cover up all that, the work we put into it. So I'm digging that. Do you dig that? Do you dig it? I don't want to leave them off totally, but I think the 2 are okay, right? The 2 are okay. So now let's start embellishing it, and we're done. So I like this the white piece on the side. Who are you tonight? I know it's crazy, right? I don't want to cover it all up, but I do feel like it needs something. Well, let's look at the smaller. It's green, but it would work. Oh, look at, what about that? That's better. See, with a small scale, let's do that. I decided 2 are nice, but the smaller are better. And do you notice they're moths? So moths are my favorite thing. So totally putting that kind of on an angle right here. Curling my edge up a little because I want this to kind of look a little ratty. I also want to lift this a bit. So curling that up a bit because it looks better. And I'll tell you that I'm probably going to put a little bit of foam dot underneath it. So let's talk about something that's going on here design-wise. So we have this turquoise here and some turquoise here. I feel like I need to create a little bit of some visualness going on with the turquoise. So I'm popping that up a bit just because I like that it doesn't blend into the background. And I feel like I need to tie in a little bit of turquoise. like this bluey color needs to be tied in there. There, I love that. See? Boop. Makes a difference, right? Might pop a little bit of this up too, just at the top. Yep, works for me. Using light and shadow is certainly helpful. And what's going on right here, I freaking totally love these little ones. In a perfect world, this little guy would be turquoise. And then that would make me so freaking happy, it wouldn't even be funny. Let's get rid of these, and then let's look. Stay curious. Remember, so many wonderful things surround you. Let's find something that I can use. Pulled all of the things. Ooh, 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 guess what? Guess what? Get ready for it. On my chipboard. Look it. I don't even have to, Jerry. Oh my goodness. Serendipity. You ready? Look it. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I'm so happy tonight. I love when it comes together. You do understand there was no plan tonight. The very basic plan. I knew what I was going to do color-wise, kind of, right? So then we just started playing, and then you shared the time with me. You make me excited to sit here and make, and magic happens. And this is why I say don't put limitations on your creativity, because look what can happen when you have like zero intention or plan and you just go with it. I used purple tonight, freaking purple. And we made that out of nothing. So I'm just taking the stick off of my chipboard around the foam dot before I remove it, just so if it went in an album, the side of it wouldn't stick. Telling you, I have these in my store. Next time you're placing an order, if you don't own one, put it in your bag, because I'm telling you, I love that thing. And you can put different stuff in it, cornstarch or whatever, because the powder is pretty stanky. Oh, but see, perfect. Now that makes me happy. So I want to put something over here that maybe has a little bit of turquoise in it. But right, I had no sketch or anything for this tonight. And I'll tell you why. My art that I put on the base will kind of determine my design. So that doesn't mean, because some of I'm going to cough, sorry. Some of you might look at this and go, I couldn't think of that. Well, you could always do the art and then go through your Pinterest board and go through your saved Instagram layouts, and you can kind of decide what you would add in there. But freaking purple, and I love it. And if you've hung out with me, I always say, ooh, I don't like purple. Purple's not my favorite, and I love it. So guess what? This chipboard says soft-hearted, and that kind of applies. So look at, I love that, but we need to layer a sticker and some jazz over here. But do you see what happened here? It's not a totally traditional visual triangle, but it is. That turquoise carries my eye around here. I love it. And it pops with all the other business going on over here. So totally digging that. Could we layer more stuff on here? Sure we could, but I'm just going to do some business here, and I'm going to leave it alone. I don't feel like it needs much of anything else. But something that could be fun is if I have a gold arrow, I'll show you. I would have a whole package of these. They make me happy. So let's look here. And I make them with this intention, right? So I like this kind of idea, right? I'm going to lift that up, and I'm going to put it underneath my ampersand. Oh, I love it. So now, but we will tie the gold in. So see, now I love that it directs it to here. And then we'll put some gold here and maybe in here. So what do we have that's gold? I have stars and hearts, soft-hearted. Well, wouldn't a heart be perfect with soft-hearted? Yes, Vicki, it would. Okay, I will use one. So let's do this little heart, soft-hearted, like that. But I want a little label. So now I have to see, do I have one on here? If not, Vicki always with intention will add it in her sticker book. So let me go find a little label sticker. And we're almost done. And yes, you could journal on it if that's your jam. But if you've met me before, you know. And Allie Edwards would say to me, Vicki, come on, you need to put some journaling on there. And I'd say, Allie, I know. If I have to. Just a sec. I know there's a sticker book, right? Sticker booker. I know there's a sticker booker. Just gotta find it. Put it in my ephemera pack. Almost done. I'm almost done. I don't care if I use Vicki. I'm just going to look in my stash. Let me just look at my stash for any kind of label sticker. I will have lots of them because it is my favoriteest thing. So, oh, what do we have here? Someone here? Why can't we just be fast when we need to be fast? Vicki's walking over the whole room trying to just find a label sticker. Let's look. I put them in everything, so I don't even care if it is a current collection. I will just look. Oh, is there one in this stack? Let's look. Okay. I'm just grabbing stuff. Just some stuff. I'm coming right back. Don't leave me yet. Unless you want to. Okay. I have 2 old sticker books. Let's look. There's got to be something in here we can use, right? Thank you for sticking around, the friends that stick around. Oh, see? Like, look. Like, look at the orange. I could use that. Oh, these are fun. This is like my favoriteest thing ever. These are awesome. I'm going to do this in my next collection. Not this color, but I think this, I got to remember that because we're working on it right now, right? So I might just be saying, hey, Melissa, let's do this again because I freaking love it. Because you don't have to reinvent the wheel every single time, right? You don't. Sometimes it's good to do, and I'll pick things that are favorites from past collections and go, yeah, we need to do that again because it made me happy. Do you agree or disagree? Does that make you mad when I do stuff that is similar more than once? Guess what? You might tell me it does, and I'll do it anyway. Oh, friends, you know what I need feedback on? And I'm going to post this in Vicki Boutin Creative Community. This weekend, I'm working on a new ready-made backgrounds. So, like, would you like something like this in a ready-made background, tone on tone? I could replicate this, and it could go in the ready-made backgrounds. So I can't share the name, Lizette. Don't try to get it out of me. But I would love, give me a list. And even if you share photos of Friday Night Lives, things we've done, give me a list. And there, I think, are how many patterns in there? 12 or 24? I don't know. But I would love a list of gel plate, mixed media, any backgrounds that you want, a new bubble background, and I'm going to create them all this weekend and send them off. They scan it and they'll make background paper out of this. So this is where you get input. So anyone who's watching this, as I'm going to start a thread, post, whatever it's called nowadays, in Vicki Boutin Creative Community on Facebook, and please add your list of what you would like to see in ready-made backgrounds, because I wouldn't do it in this color because if it's limits you, right? But maybe just a tone on tone in the purple, and then you could go in and add the color yourself. Wouldn't that be awesome? So yes, please tell me what you'd love to see in ready-made backgrounds, because a bokeh one's going to go in there. I just know it, but I want to know because I'm going to add it. I'm going to put a yellow little sticker underneath this as a layer. So tell me what you'd like to see and I will add it. Because I'm working on it this weekend and it's not just for me, right? It's what you guys want and what you're going to buy. So I would love your input, and let's see what ends up making the cut. Because I won't tell you. You just have to wait in the fall when the new collection comes out and you can see what made the cut. A little hint of yellow, gonna put that there. And then we need some gold in here with the butterflies and we're done. Bokeh style would be nice. Probably wouldn't do red, white, and blue, Joan. I'm sorry. What I end up doing, because don't forget these backgrounds have to match with a whole bunch of stuff, is I do a lot of tone on tone. So lots of tone, like one will be blue, one will be turquoise, one will be orange, one will be yellow. I sometimes will match like 2 colors, just something that will work well as a base color, if that makes sense. So you got to watch, because it's sometimes tricky on the art crayon to get your stuff to stick, okay? So this is where my sewing machine will come in handy. So if you ask, Vicki, where would you put journaling on here? I might put like little journal strips in the bubbles. Like, look at how fun would that be? Journal, 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 journal. So it could come down here. I could pop some out from underneath this bit and a little underneath here. You could do them like one journal strip right here that you sew on there. So you could still journal, even though, you know, if you've met me before, you know. If you know, you know. Guess what? I'm putting some gold in here. So I'm going to dilute some iridescent glaze, and that's the last touch. You know, what do you guys think? So I could take some and I could, do you want some drips of gold down here? Would you like to see that? If I drip some gold in the bubbles, right? Drip, drip, drip of gold. What do you think? I'm putting gold in here because I have gold embellishments, right? So that's why I'm using gold. I need to find the sheet of acrylic. I'm going to do it on this one. So we can just take some gold glaze. That's why this is magic. But just make sure you dilute it quite a bit because it's very thick, right? And then we can decide, how does Vicki want to represent the gold? I think to make it look like little drips of water. So this is going to take a little bit to dry, but I just want it to look like polka dots of gold when it dries. So you will see this tomorrow. Oops, too much. Tomorrow when I post this, okay? Because this will take a little bit to dry, but when I go up to bed, I will just leave it to dry. But I'm just doing it so it looks like little water drops of gold, like little polka dots. But when all the moisture leaves this, oh, it's going to be so pretty. Now these thickers, they change thicker manufacturer on us often. So what ends up happening is we've done paintable ones before, but I find these ones are a little bit more absorbent, if that makes sense. So I don't know. I don't think I want to do gold dots in there. I'm going to leave it because I don't know how it's going to react. And I'm just going with that little bit of gold on there. It makes me totally happy. Ties the yellow in. Totally love it. So I'm going to not gold drip it. Okay. I'm not going to gold drip it. I'm going to leave it in there. But what I am going to add is, so on this sticker sheet, look at those. So that is from, do you know I'd have a whole sheet of that? I told her, give me a whole sheet of just gold dots. And a lot of times they'll be like, that's weird. Who would want that? And I will say Vicki Boutin would like that. Vicki Boutin would like a whole page of gold dots. So we're going to add a couple of these. I love it already, friends. Like I told you, a whole page. I would take a whole page of just these gold dots. This is why I freaking love color study. Magic. Do a double dot here. Oh, see? Totally tying the gold in. The gold around the page. I'm not going to go too crazy. I might put one more up here. A little one. Right there. And then a couple more down in here. A big one. A big one right here. Love it. Little one here. And you see what's happening is these gold dots are playing up the bokeh. There. And know when to stop. So here you go, my friends. Look at that. And I will take a picture. I'm going to play around too. This might need to be moved up. I don't like how much of the B that's covering. Can I make it go partially under? I don't know. I could wreck everything just doing that, but we'll decide. But love it. See, and when this dries, it's just a hint of gold on there. Can you see it? I have to say, I think this is one of my favorite layouts I've done in a very long time. I love this background. So I'm going to flip the camera around. For some of you guys that have stuck around, a lot of you have. There's over 200 people here still. So flipping the camera because I'm going to talk to you for a minute. Okay. Just moving it because here. Hi. So let's see if the light is different now and you can see better. Do you see what I'm saying with the color? Now you guys can see it. Oh, this is why I'm super excited. There's the remember, and you will be able to see tomorrow when I photograph it. But look at that side. Do you see the color? There. Trying to make it straight so you guys can see. I love it so much. Can you see the texture in the gesso? I'll take lots of close-up shots, okay? Take lots of close-up shots. Tonight was so much fun, and I didn't even know it was going to turn out like this. I freaking love this layout, and I love how the Fernwood looks totally different. We just used it in a totally different application. And I think using the high contrast of the purple with the oranges and the turquoise and the yellows. And then I just tied it in with that one purple piece from Color Study, which I know a lot of you are collectors like I am of the Vicki Boutin product. So you'll have little pieces, but love how that turned out. Love that you guys stuck around. If you're watching after the fact, I hope you had as much fun as I did tonight. Post your pictures, whatever you make. I'm hoping Karen Dunbrook and my card makers out there that you please, if you make a card inspired by this design, I would love it because I could sketch it out. I could sketch out exactly smaller scale. You could still do the edges, sew on it, and that torn edge, and then just your sentiment. You just wouldn't have a photo there unless you matted it. You could put a frame. Wouldn't a frame look good? Like I could totally see a card out of this. So what do I need from you now? Please, if you haven't already, make sure if you're on YouTube that you have subscribed to the Vicki Boutin channel, and please thumbs up, like the video. Set your reminders so you don't miss out when I go live. If you're on Facebook, if you haven't already, there's 2 different things you can do on the Facebook artist page. You can like and you can follow, or something like and follow. So please do that as well, and leave a comment. Just let me know where you're watching from. I love it. If you're watching after the fact, leave a comment in the regular section. If you have any questions, let me know. Remember, Sweet Rush, which is going to be freaking mind-blowing color overload of sugary sweet color, is going live tomorrow for the kit pre-order. Like I said, if you're like, oh, I don't have the money right now, there's going to be kits available for a while. So whenever you have a chance, you can do that. There will be access only closer to the date. I'm not going to be teaching that until the summer. Okay. Please go and let me know what you would like to see in ready-made backgrounds, because I'm going to be actively creating those this weekend. I need to ship those off so they can scan them to Utah. And next weekend, we're going to be featuring the Printmaker, because I freaking love it. So before you invest in it, I'm going to show you why I like it. And then you can ask me while I'm doing it. Like you can say, Vicki, will it print on this? And I'm going to have a whole bunch of different stuff available so we can test it. Okay. Make sure that you go and enter the giveaway on the Vicki Boutin Creative page community on Facebook. I think that's all of the things, right? But that was so much fun tonight. I loved it. I hope you enjoyed that as well. I will see you next Friday. Have a great Valentine's Day. Even if you are celebrating loving yourself, that is worth celebrating. Valentine's Day is not just for lovers, right? It's not just for lovers. I just think it's just remembering. I think Valentine's Day should be a day about kindness, kindness to yourself, kindness to others, and just putting love out in the world, because nowadays we really need it. We really need it. So thank you as always. Thanks, Natalie, for having my back and sharing all the links to the things. And we'll see you. Yeah, Galentine's Day. I love that too, right? Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next Friday. If you have any questions about anything, just leave a comment over on the creative community or at vickiboutinKits@gmail.com, and I will happily answer them for you. So thank you. That was awesome. Filled my cup. It runneth over tonight. So have a great weekend, and we'll see you next Friday. Bye, friends. End broadcast. There we go. See you later, guys.